What's this going to consist of?
Been a while. Someone get the towel.
I'm going to slowly turn you on. Good afternoon and welcome to Lawnhub Live, slightly after lunch.
What episode is this? 5? 6? 6? Half a dozen.
It's your 6th.
Yes.
It's my 3rd. I think.
No, you've only missed 2.
1, miss, 2, miss.
We've only had 2 guests.
Had a guest, 2 guests, Jai and...
Yeah. Oh, I don't think Jai was technically a guest, but...
Well, I wasn't here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sorry. I had a golf day that was previously organised for a year ago, and it got cancelled because of, I think, a death, sadly. And so they had to move the golf day to today, and in true Clint fashion, I wasn't overly conscious of monitoring my emails because I don't look at my emails that much. And then on Monday, I said to Jones, you need a guest for Friday. And then I went, you know what? I don't like sitting at these lunches afterwards, so I'm not going to. So I'll just come late. So here we are. I feel kind of dizzy now, actually. I just smashed so much food.
You smashed so much food.
All the blood's in my stomach.
Yep.
All right. Thanks.
Dylan's turning us on.
Insert jokes here. Do you think we can move to another building with, like, climate change affecting air conditioning?
I mean, I'm pretty good under the vent here. We could probably get up there and move the vent so it comes down your way.
Oh, you're an arsehole.
I didn't put it that way. It was the previous owners.
Should I stand on the chair and
Oh, yeah, we've got plenty of cameras for good memes. We discussed this last week. Our whole life is about memes.
This is the best way to get around the old work cover issues, is to say that you are a stuntman, right? And so this is a requirement of my job. So no work cover issues. Not financial advice. That's the wrong way. Don't be like that.
This is some quality viewing.
Well, I've got to be comfortable.
No, that's right. I agree.
Like, I've got a rider, no one's met my requirements. Anyway, so you might be wondering why my buttons are undone and Fat Camp is not working. So,
No.
yeah, where's my headphones? All right, so the reason I wasn't here on time was because I was at the Grange Golf Club playing golf in a Junior Foundation fundraising golf day, which Liv used that course for their Australian round, if anyone wasn't aware. And so I got to see and play on the course that the professionals, well, second-tier professionals, if you listen to Taylor Gooch and Rory, play on when they come to Australia.
I'm impressed that you know that.
I'm very good with general knowledge.
That's very good.
So, I guess an update on that. Grange, all their staff are actively working towards getting that ready for Liv. And for anyone that was there last time, you'll know the 12th is the party hole, which was Jonesy's nickname at high school. And
Apparently.
the grandstands are, like, the framework's pretty much up. They just haven't put on the floor and, you know, all of the pretty stuff.
Nice.
And you can also tell which fairways are in play.
Being looked after.
I mean, the course is amazing regardless, but it's like that one's, that one's one. All right, so we've had a few questions come through. A couple of housekeeping things that we need to go through. Giveaways. We've been giving stuff away, but no one's been contacting us for their prizes. Is that correct?
I'd say about 75% of people have made contact or we've made contact. The other 25% are either outstanding in the sense that they haven't got back to us or they've never reached out in the first place.
Okay.
So one of the AirPods was claimed last night. Got a message from that.
Oh, no shit. So like 2 weeks later,
Yeah.
hey, that was me. I've never seen them.
No, he said he thinks he got one of our email addresses incorrect.
Okay.
So
adam@lawnhub.com.au.
yeah.
Pretty simple. Now, I'm trying to find all the live feed stuff. What else do we have to talk about? Armyworm.
Armyworm, yeah.
Do you want to just, like, for anyone that's dealing with armyworm, just explain for me how a Celiprin works as a not a post-emergent, but as a treatment as well as a preventative measure?
I can. So basically, the active in acelepryn, which is chlorantraniliprole, that was a big word.
From Gawler.
It can remain residual in the soil for 6 months, but it can also be used as a knockdown, which is how we are suggesting to use it in the armyworm battle pack, for example, or just by itself. And basically, what happens is the active comes in contact with the skin of the armyworm, which is a part of the caterpillar family, and it will start attacking the nerve system of the armyworm, and it will begin to shut down. And the reason why it is advised to leave it on the leaf for 24 hours was because just like a spray-on contact, whether it's whether using granule acelepryn or the liquid, it's both methods are the same. You need to leave it on the leaf for 24 hours so the armyworm can come in contact with the active, and then it is game over.
All right, thank you. The reason I asked for that is obviously there's a bunch of Facebook groups where people jump in and ask questions and comments get sent, and one of the comments was that that's not what it's for, so I just wanted that to be covered off. Now, Kira is WFH, work from home, but she's punching through questions on...
Oh, beautiful. Great work, Kira.
What's this thing called? Teams. So what are we giving away today? Another pair of AirPods? I think I've got 2 sets left.
I think we had 3 left from Black Friday.
Yep.
We've given away 2. One's been claimed.
Yep. So technically we got 3, and we'll just, I guess we'll have a 14-day amnesty on claims.
And then we gave away the battle pack last week. That was claimed. We gave away a ultimate spray pack. Oh, that's the other competition I got to draw today for rating us 5-star on Apple Podcasts. And
What, you did that?
yeah,
Oh, how good's that?
there's a few people. Let me have a look. I'll put it in a folder in my email because I'm organised.
Did he come up with it himself, or was that your idea?
No, I come up with it. I'm pretty.
The Apple giveaway for rating us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts.
If that was a thing, or
No, yeah, who came up with the idea?
I don't want to get between you two. So.
Me. It was online.
No, I'm saying it
it
sounds
was
like something
live.
Dylan might have come up with.
Oh
No.
Jonesy actually had a bit of promo.
Yeah.
Are we drawing that now, or do you want me to ask you the first question?
No, you can keep asking questions. I've got to find out where I put it.
All right, we've got a question on TikTok.
Already,
from-
we've got to look at TikTok
From
for
the
that.
professor.
From the professor.
Beginner here. How do I get lines on the lawn? I think
Lines.
it's not referring to what you're thinking of.
Lines on the lawn referring to stripes
Yep.
or patterns.
I would say that.
In order to do so, the easiest way to do it is with a cylinder mower because they have 2 rollers, a front roller and a rear roller. Basically, when you get those lines or patterns in the lawn, basically what you're looking at, if you're looking at the dark green stripe, that is the stripe that is leaning towards you, and then the bright stripe is the stripe leaning away from you, and basically the sun reflects on the leaf blade, and that's what gives it an effect. There are hacks in which you can do it, which I've successfully done with PVC and rocks. You just have to attach it to the back of your mower.
Does it have to be rocks?
Well, whatever's heavy, that's what I had with me. And
You should carry rocks in your pocket.
yeah, no, in the PVC. I can't believe I've misplaced all this stuff.
Yeah, so you would have a traditional lawnmower and you would mount a cylinder to the back of the lawnmower similar to, it could be a piece of PVC or anything else. It could be a piece of metal if you are in that world. And you just need to make it heavy. So it could be filled with rocks or anything else, sand, cement.
Yeah, anything that's heavy.
Adam's emotions.
My emotions,
So,
my thoughts, they're pretty
have
heavy.
you finished answering that question?
Yep.
All right. Carl on Facebook. Someone get Clint a beer. He looks hot. No, Carl. I am hot. Thank you for noticing. I'm not drinking at the moment. Today is my 14th day without alcohol in a row. So I had... I don't know if that was one of those.
It's more of a...
So you might remember 2 weeks ago we didn't drink on the podcast because we can't on certain platforms. That turned into me going to baseball, me going and drinking there, then me going home and drinking some red wine, and then me waking up on Saturday and just going, I don't want to feel like this anymore. And so I'm now alcohol free.
Well done, Clint.
Kieran on Facebook, I really appreciate everything you do and your online chat helps so much.
Awesome. Thank you. We're here to help. If it wasn't for you, there'd be no us.
On that, Kieran, those thank yous really go to the team. So Jai and Josie, who you met Jai on the Facebook, on the platform last week, but Josie, who is more behind the scenes and probably will guest at some point, they are the ones that are doing a lot of that hard work and heavy lifting, and I just take a lot of the credit. Jonesy also does a bit.
Sometimes.
Rochi, or It's Rochi on YouTube. Just had a large delivery of all your products. Supplied
Beautiful.
Trojan last week, and I'm already starting to see results. It's good stuff.
Beautiful.
Oh, this is nice. This is like this is just like a pat on the back
Yeah.
session.
There's good weather around Australia at the moment for fertiliser applications. It's starting to kick in.
37 today. I drove out of Grange before on the way here, and their 2 entry lawns have been mown to the ground.
Yeah, ready
So
for...
They're confident that they're going to still have growth.
I took mine down to dirt 2 weeks ago and it's due for its second mow, and I'd say it's about 80% recovered.
I haven't mowed my lawn for 2 or 3 weeks.
Jesus.
Yeah. Interesting. On that, I had a message from my personal greenkeeping advice team. I've got a few guys that message me who are in the wings. They are course superintendents from some of South Australia's most premium golf
Finest.
courses. And he said, with your front lawn, because I've reseeded it and the seeds are quite ungerminated or in their early stages of germination, to raise the height of cut for that period, but also to go buy some lattice, like some plastic lattice from Bunnings, and cut squares and put them in the corners when I'm turning. And so basically mow that area, and then all your turns do that on the lattice.
Yeah.
Because if you notice my lawn, it's got all these track marks.
Yeah.
And he said you'll find you can use boards, or lattice is obviously a lightweight, easy alternative. So a good little tip there from someone who definitely knows what they're talking about.
Absolutely.
Oh, I just realised I didn't have any Nexium today. It's going to be an interesting session. Sean Smalley on YouTube. Hey boys, I sent an email to Adam of a picture and I think it's fungal. Okay. I don't know if you've got the right business. Just wondering what your thoughts are and the treatment.
Let's have a look.
This could be.
Oh, literally just then.
There you go. So Adam's email address is working.
There's a lot going on there.
I'm hoping it's lawn.
Yeah,
Wow, that's very wet.
it's
That might need a couple of days of no watering.
yes. My first thought was, is that area impacted by shade?
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, was that just watered?
It looks very wet.
So Sean, if you are listening still, can you send me a
Where
photo?
is he on YouTube? I'll try and jump over to YouTube.
If you could send me a photo of the area, but from like a distance back, so I could see the bigger picture.
From a distance.
So yeah, there's a lot going on there.
Lawnhub live at lunch. We need more stuff for our shelves. That looks ridiculous. There's just Lawnhub shit on it. Oh, I got a bag of goodies
Oh shit, yeah.
from Grange. Check this out. This will make sense to anyone that knows, but old mate Jonesy obviously was created by a mummy and a daddy. And Jonesy's dad fucking loves free hats.
He does.
So I got him another free hat. That's for Papa Jones.
He'll enjoy that.
The last hat we got him was a Live Golf staff hat from Grange.
He wears it every Saturday at golf.
What else we got here? I haven't looked in this yet.
Oh, that looks like a ball pitch repairer, maybe.
Or a phone charger
What?
from the Grange.
What is this?
Yeah, one of those.
Oh, it's a wireless
phone
charger. No way.
Yeah, wait, bro. Oh, how's this? What the? A fucking corner of the mouth cleaner. Yeah, there you go. Or a lizard rag for those of you that are that way inclined. And there you go. Oh, come on, Clint. I don't need these because I don't land on the green, but we got them.
That has got to be the
A
strangest.
pack of ink and a ball.
Is it a decent ball?
I don't know.
No.
Usually they're rocks. I use them for the longest drive because
That is the strangest golf gift I've ever seen. A wireless phone charger. Do you
So,
need a special phone for that?
one that can charge wirelessly.
Can mine charge wirelessly?
You might need to hit some kind of comical soundboard thing there, Dylan. Dylan's so engrossed in the podcast, he's forgot that he's actually involved. Let me see if...
What have I got? An iPhone 12? I think. I'm a few. Yeah, let's test it.
if you want to go to my car and get my... What do you call it?
Well,
Golf
that's-
bag. I've got a battery pack in the golf bag. We can plug it into that.
That's a good pen.
It's yours now, buddy.
Beautiful.
All right, so we were talking to someone before. I just want to
Yeah,
see...
Sean.
Sean, hey boys, sent an email to Adam. He hasn't said anything more, but he might email you.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's a bit rough.
Oh,
Where's the Dan Caddy episode? No one wants Clint.
fuck.
Thanks, Alex. That's deep and meaningful.
I mean, this is Lawnhub, not the Green and Gold Life, but no, Dan was a good guest. Lots of positive comments on his podcast, which is good.
Oh, I have no idea what I'm doing.
But remember, Clint started this all, so really,
You don't need to defend me.
okay.
It's fine. We are not removing me as a host for them from the
No, I
podcast.
was gonna say that's not happening.
I'm happy to do this with no audience. All right. What's that? I don't think we need to test it. I think that most of the people watching this probably don't give two shits about that. All right, let's get back into the questions. Kira, hang on, what do we got here? Are you getting more hats? Thanks.
Yes, we are.
Well, are we out of hats?
No, of these ones, we're not selling them though.
No.
But the other ones, because of the embroidery issue,
So we don't have any.
we don't have any currently.
I'm assuming that's because there's no embroidery companies left in Australia. They've all shut.
Look, if you want to pay $8 in embroidery for that little, it's absolutely it's criminal.
You're talking fat camp today? That's from Clint Osborne.
Clint, that's the mole winner.
So, full disclosure, I wasn't at fat camp last week. I actually couldn't come in because I had an epic anxiety attack on the Thursday before the Friday, and was so fatigued from 12 hours of vomiting and tossing and turning, and I don't know if anyone's had anxiety, but not very nice. And so I tried to get here. Woke up at 12? I think I woke up at 11. I was going to come in, and then I probably messaged you again at 1:30 instead.
No, you messaged me at like 11:56,
Yeah.
and Joel was on the phone to a customer at the time, and I was like, "You're in."
Yeah, and he went, oh God.
And then he's like, I'll like finish helping the customer.
Yep. And then throw on this stinky jumpsuit. Anyway, back to the questions. Mr. Barrett on YouTube, garden edging above or below... Mr. Barrett on YouTube, garden edging above or below lawn, about to cut some lawn up and put in a garden and debating which way to go. You tell me your answer, I'll tell you my answer.
My preferred would be same height as a lawn, so you could mow over it.
I like my garden edging slightly higher than my lawn by 3 to 5 mil. I use the garden edging as a edge for my rotary scissors to go against. I don't use the whippersnipper, and I don't mow. I can't get any closer. The other thing is I couldn't mow on top of that either because I've got sprinklers there, which are probably a little high. But if you've got a nice 5 or 6 mil mild steel that you're welding together, you could do either, but definitely not below the lawn.
No.
So it's either level or higher.
Yeah.
All right, Taylor Evans on YouTube. Clint,
This would be good.
if you were an army worm and the leader of the army worm gang and could pick 5 other army worms to back you, who would they be?
That's a good question.
I would say Vladimir Putin,
That's a solid start.
President Xi from China. David Goggins. I need 2 more. I've pretty much got Russia and China. That's half the world's population.
Do they have to be alive?
You reckon Genghis Khan?
That's exactly who I was thinking.
And then maybe Marcus Aurelius. Get some one of the last of the strongest Roman leaders.
Yep.
Yeah, I reckon there's my 5.
Yeah,
Done.
that's pretty solid.
I bet most people would not expecting that answer. David Giddens on Facebook did a scalp last week, put Trojan down, and then sprayed Money Shot the other day. It's coming back great. Is it okay to spray Money Shot on a recovering lawn?
Yeah, you can. It'd just be the iron content and the nitrogen content that would be doing anything. It's not bad, but you don't want to over.
You also might not necessarily need to.
No, you don't need to. But if you can obviously apply a high nitrogen product like Money Shot in that sense, but you also don't want to apply too much nitrogen in a recovering lawn because you can stress it out and cause a bit of disease, unfortunately, which is what I succumbed to earlier this season.
Matt Worth, any chance you will ever have a stockist on or close to the Gold Coast?
Yeah, I thought livability was close to the
They're
Gold
in Brisbane,
Coast.
dude.
Is that far?
Hour.
Oh.
So, for those new to the channel, at Gawler High School, they didn't do geography. And so...
We did, but just not of Australia, because,
It doesn't matter what country you live in. Learn other countries' geography.
Yeah.
Look, very, very simply, we will take on as many resellers or stockists as we can, provided that we are not crossing swords with existing resellers. So we have an algorithm that we use, which is, are they a company that I think can suck a dick? And if they are, then they can't work with us. So there's the 12 immutable laws. So you'll never find our fertilizer in a national plumbing franchise. It's very, very unlikely that you will ever find our fertilizer in a green shed hardware business.
Very unlikely now.
And then if we have support from someone, so a good example might be Irrigation Pumps and More in Mount Barker. They are one of our original resellers and they're a great client and friend. If one of the other businesses in Mount Barker asked if they could have access to the product, we'd probably say no. But in saying that, if you have any ideas of someone in the Gold Coast that might fit our values, so they're not dickheads, they are in a peripheral industry, whether or not it's a automotive engine, small engine business, hire business. So we've got Mars and Hire, obviously. So they're dealing with people that are hiring, that kind of thing. Or if they're an irrigation store, or if they're a landscape suppliers yard, open 7 days a week selling lawn. There's a lot, if that makes sense. But from a business standpoint, most of our stuff isn't sold through those guys. So it's not something we spend a lot of time on. But I'm not opposed to a Gold Coast reseller. And I'm also not opposed to moving to the Gold Coast to live, and I'll just sell it out of my shed. All right.
But then that goes against one of the prerequisites.
That they need to have a retail outlet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we won't be doing it out of my shed. All right. Craig on Instagram. Hi, guys. I've got NSFW and tried to follow the 4 days before and 4 days after, but I'm not sure I understood 100% if that's 8 days in total because I waited 4 days and it still killed my grass and the clover. It's interesting. Do you understand the question?
Well, so it's you can apply it if he's referring to the 4 days in the label. That's referring to when you can mow. So you can mow 4 times. You can mow 4 days before
or
applying,
4 days after,
or 4 days after. Yeah.
So I guess if NSFW has killed your grass, then you've either over applied it aggressively, so you might have spot sprayed it, or the grass that you killed is a grass that NSFW kills, which we find a lot. Sometimes people's lawns are so fucked that it kills all of their weeds because they don't actually have a lawn. That's really surprising. Craig, can you give us a bit more context, like what lawn you have, how you applied it, how many mils you put over how many square meters, If you obviously hadn't cut the lawn before and after, and we might be able to help you out.
Because if the lawn was quite high and you've mowed it down, it might just be scalping as well. It might not be necessarily.
It just hasn't grown back yet.
Yeah.
Venjum on YouTube. Where'd you guys get your iconic jumpsuits from?
DNC.
Design and Construct. My jumpsuit came from RSEA, I think, one of the large safety retailers. The reason we have jumpsuits is because a while ago, we're very lucky that there's a supportive community of people that are willing to give their opinions around how we construct content and manage our lives. And so I was spraying something and someone got very upset that I wasn't wearing appropriate safety gear. So now we've got jumpsuits. These are V1.0 and I expect to have some really cool pinstriped ones. Think a la Conor McGregor, fuck you, pinstripe suit. And then we might even make them available for sale. I think, you know what I was thinking yesterday? You know Golf Gods?
Yes.
I went to their warehouse and bought a new golf bag and some shorts because I fat camp, not working and all that shit. And they've got like a little shop, like a shop, right, with all their stuff, and they've got a little putt thing there, and they've got a simulator out the back. And I was like, it would be really cool for us eventually, and probably not for another year or two, but to have a destination shop where people could come and buy stuff. But if you go there, there's things that you can only buy in that shop. So golf stuff or cool different hats or like, and then like the jumpsuits you could buy, one of 100 jumpsuits, that kind of shit. So because we don't sell that much merch, like it's not really
not really, no. I mean, my first shift ever, we sold nearly all of our merch. Nearly every order was having something.
Why?
I've got no idea. I remember a lot of the packs back then had hats in them.
Are you getting sick of him saying I don't understand or I have no idea? Because I am.
Well, I don't know. It was my first day.
Okay. All right. Blake Magrin on Facebook. Hey guys, will you ever bring out liquid iron product without the added nitrogen? Oh, fuck, this guy's got to be friends with Ervo. Tuning in from New South fucking Wales.
Yes, there it is. How long's it taken? 28 minutes.
So, Blake. We've got a guy called Ervo, Ask Ervo, who's the GM of all the companies, Jonesy's boss. And he is a massive fan of liquid iron without nitrogen. And he is asking the same question. He actually buys an alternative product, which is fine. Because he doesn't want to put nitrogen into his lawn as well for probably the same reasons that you don't, especially his Tiff Tuff or Thatch Tuff or whatever it's being called on the street these days.
Yeah.
So it's not on any immediate radar to answer the question. But we are working on a few things that might increase our capacity and capability to manage liquid manufacturing ourselves. And I imagine that we will probably move into a space where we have craft fertilizer, which has never been done before. And you might find that you have limited releases of things. And if they are successful, we'll continue them and they might become a main product. And if not, they might just be a craft fertilizer.
I mean, the other thing to consider, the nitrogen in Money Shot works with the iron to effectively do that green up. So like it's not as though they're competing, they're working together to achieve the same thing.
Yeah, they don't. Nitrogen creates growth as well, doesn't it?
Correct, yeah. But
which is what Ervo doesn't want.
Yeah, because Thatch Tough.
So you think he should just change his lawn again? Should have brought Rennie's in. All right. Nick on YouTube, can you bring back the Lawnhub branded rotary mower before the next growing season? Thanks. Please and thanks. Can you bring back the Lawnhub branded rotary mower before the next growing season? I don't know what that is.
I've got no idea. Unless
cylinder?
The cylinder, which we gave away.
So no, Clint won't let us have it back.
No,
I'm imagining.
He will not let us have it back.
Lawnhub branded rotary mower. I don't understand the question. So, I don't know. It's Rochi on YouTube. After applying Impala, how long should I wait to start a lawn care program, i.e. a Trojan /premature wet, etc.?
It all depends. So if the lawn's not under stress anymore from whatever you were treating, so I don't know what's going around at the moment. You could have got some dollar spot depending on where you are, Pythium. What else is there that treats a vast majority of diseases in turf? But yeah, so long as the lawn's on recovery and it's not stressed out anymore, you can start going back from there. If you've used it as a preventative, as part of a program, then you can continue doing things as normal.
All right, I'm just trying to find Instagram questions.
Oh, yes.
Oh, actually, we're going to talk about our soil test kit as well.
Yes.
Okay, so Kira, actually, I'm going to jump over to Instagram and answer some questions there, and then we'll jump back to what Kira's punching through, but they're coming through thick and fast, which I know is exactly how you like it.
Absolutely. Not here for a long time, just a good time.
Is it wrong to be watering every day in this extreme heat we're having? Cheers. B1313's question.
I mean, in my opinion, you still want to do your normal watering cycle regardless of the heat.
As in, don't increase your watering?
Yeah, as in, like, if you do 2 or 3 deep waterings a week, just keep it at that.
So in the irrigation world, there is a thing called ET, evapotranspiration. When we have extreme heat, there would be potentially an increase in watering to mitigate losses from evaporation. So you might see that some turf carers, lawn carers, might increase their watering a little bit, 20-30% to get that mill out. So obviously, if you're putting out 25 mil a week, but you've had a day like today and you've had 8 mil of evaporation, I just realised I haven't watered any of my lawns today.
You've got 2 of the best systems probably in the state.
Yep. Anyway, that's right. That's a first world problem, right?
Right.
Okay. So your answer to, is there anything wrong with watering every day? I don't think so. I think you do you. Obviously, if you water something like Tiff Tough every day, you might find that you get a lot of thatch, which I'm experiencing. You would probably be better off doing deep waterings irregularly. Yeah. And insert shameless product placement here. Use a wetting agent. Doesn't have to be ours, but if you're going to be dealing with 37s, don't put the wetting agent out during the 37, but think about using wetting agents. Would you, so Jimmy Depierre's response to your question on Instagram yesterday, would you be using premature on zoysia grass in southeast Queensland now, or is there still time to apply Trojan?
I mean, southeast Queensland, it's nice weather all year round, but I'd transition into the premature absolutely, because then your next application will be around Anzac Day, and then now if we know it's a week in, isn't it? So the week or 2 after Anzac Day, and then that will see you through to the rest of the season or into the cooler months. But up where you are, it's probably a bit warmer than it is down here. But I mean, if you've got Trojan in the shed and you haven't got premature, use the Trojan. But if you
don't go buying something just for the sake of it.
Yeah, but if you have the choice out of the both, because A, you've got both, or B, you haven't purchased anything yet, I'd look at premature.
All right, question from John Zarama.
Bastard.
Hey, are you planning on sorting out that nose pimple, Jonesy?
I'm just embracing it.
I can't see anything. I can see a face pimple. Oh, wow.
Yeah. It doesn't hurt anymore.
Yeah.
But,
this is the emotional pain we were talking about before.
Yeah. I mean, I had acne from year 7 through to year 12. So, like, I've had it all. So,
okay.
Yeah. So I just embrace it now, a bit like my bald head.
Did you cut your hair midday yesterday?
No, I cut it in the morning.
Yeah, okay. Daniel Pittman, 84. Favorite beer to drink while mowing? ?
I mean, I typically don't drink beer while mowing, but
fuck is wrong with you?
I and this is going to absolutely destroy Clint on the inside. So I'm going to wait for him to finish his drink.
One of the 5 drinks I have going at the moment.
But I love 4X Gold. Or a Great Northern. A Corona.
Okay.
But yeah, 4X. Liquid gold, mate.
Daniel. As mentioned previously, I'm not drinking at the moment and may not drink ever again. I'm in a really interesting stage in my life. But back in the day, 2 weeks ago, when I was a piece of shit alcoholic, I would mow for 3 hours or whatever the fuck, no, probably an hour. That should have taken 3 and I rushed it. But if it was hot and I was like, oh man, I would smash CC soda and lime, and I would drink probably 2 of them back to back immediately after mowing to rehydrate before moving on to a 6.8% Banks or Range Brewing IPA, double oat cream, double IPA, triple IPA, kind of something light, 6.8. And then
Light.
yeah, and then I'd move into the 7s and then probably head in for dinner, dance around a couple of 8s and then have a 10, 10.4 and then brush my teeth and go to bed.
As a nightcap.
And that's your 20 standard drink evening
Afternoon.
that got me into the situation where, I couldn't breathe for 12 hours. So but that back in the day before I got really deep into craft beer, I would be drinking anything in a green bottle. So Beck's, Heineken, Carlsberg. I always enjoyed those beers. This is funny, but I used to be able to get those cartons for $40 a carton, and that wasn't that long ago, 10 or 12 years ago. So that would be what I would go to. All right. Why didn't I get a stubby holder? Nick Kunich.
I saw that one. I had 2 questions. Did you
order one?
Yeah. Did we order one and not send, or did you order one and not send, and we didn't send it,
Yeah.
or did Clint say we're going to send you one and
Yeah.
it was one of that 25% of unclaimed prizes?
Let us know, Nick, because if we promised one, we will.
Yeah.
Sorry.
If someone from Dry Creek is listening, can we get some Rennies?
No,
here
I've
ASAP?
got Rennies in my car. I just have to get my golf bag out of the car. Josie could probably do that for me, but I don't want to put unnecessary pressure on a already thin team. Freeman Landscaping. Why won't Clint reply to my messages?
Well, you weren't here last week, and did we bring it up the week before?
He messaged in the week before.
Yeah.
I am now enjoying the fact that it pisses him off, and so now I'm just leaving him on fucking red.
Gosh.
I don't know. My algorithm's showing a bunch of stuff around ADHD and procrastination at the moment.
So bad.
And there's this thing like what procrastinators do, and it's just cause shit for the sake of it because it just entertains me. So hopefully, as my body detoxifies from alcohol and then progressively into sugar, I might become less of a dickhead and then might respond to people's messages. I'm actually getting better. You know, it's funny. This is a little bit not lawny, but when I was drinking every day, I would get anxiety, which I think a lot of people experience, where you're hungover and you feel anxious. And so I wouldn't take as many phone calls and I wouldn't ring people back because not because I couldn't handle it, I just couldn't be fucked. And I was just like, they're going to probably ask for something and I don't want to talk about it and I don't want to do it. Whereas now I've been like back to my old aggressive phone calls. And when it was in my 30s or late 20s, I could drink like that and still operate at a high level. And it's just not anymore.
No bueno. Not anymore.
Beccacy Business, my friend Wade. How many kilos does he drop in the sauna per session? Most sold product in the world, ?
I saw that as the most sold product that we sell. And that
No, I think he's trying to say water. Ask, like, what's the highest sold product in the world? I think it's water. Wade has a bad habit of having a conversation in his head and then finishing it with you. So if you follow his Instagram, and I've told him this to his face before, so I'm happy to talk about it publicly, there's no context around what he's posting because he's walked into a building, had the start of an Instagram, and then opened something and shown the like chapter 3 and 4, and then continued on with 5, 6, and 7, and you're like, what? So what I believe he's saying is how many kilos does he drop in the sauna per session? I would say I probably drop a kilo in the sauna because I can't hydrate quick enough to keep up, and then I try to drink a litre. I drink a litre in the sauna and a litre after the sauna. Most sold product in the world, I think he's trying to highlight that water is the highest, the most sold commodity in the world.
By volume.
With cement coming in second. By dollar, it's probably something like bandwidth. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's what he's getting at. Anyway, that are all the questions, caller. They are all the questions that have come through on Instagram. Let's go back to the other questions. There are a lot.
Beautiful.
Raina on Facebook. Hey guys, Raina here from Brisbane. My lawn was smashed with army worms. Got it under control. Purchased the essential pack with an extra Trojan and 3-way. What a guy. Lawn is coming back nicely, but so are the weeds. I have NSFW, but have some weeds that they do not control. So I'm looking at Spartan to control the other weeds. Should I use NSFW first, then Spartan? And what is the time frame for this?
So there's a bit going on in that question. The first thing I would suggest when treating weeds after such an event like an armyworm outbreak, make sure the lawn is in healthy nick before you start applying herbicides like NSFW, Spartan, anything else that you may need to eradicate the weeds that you have that NSFW won't. So I'm going to have an assumption here that your lawn's healthy and you're looking to attack the weeds. Get NSFW down ASAP, as long as it's not 37 degrees like it is here. Secondly, Spartan won't treat any existing weeds. That'll prevent future weeds from emerging. So if you have something like, where they say they're from, Queensland? Yeah, so I'm just going to think.
Sorry, I've moved on.
On the top of my head,
Brisbane.
Brisbane. So nutgrass is quite big over.
Which is not near the Gold Coast.
Well, it kind of is. Nutgrass, so you need something like Halo Force. You can apply all these in a 7-day period, but if you can find something that if you can find something that treats everything in one hit, that's obviously ideal, but you've already got NSFW, so you may as well use it. I'd use that first, see what's left, and then go from there. Spartan, you'd still want to get that down because that's going to stop weeds from emerging in your lawn later on once it starts to cool down. And what was all the other stuff? There's about 4 questions.
I think but you answered all the questions.
Okay.
So he basically told us what he bought and then said that he's got weeds, NSFW. I have NSFW, but some weeds that it doesn't control. So I'm looking to put out Spartan to control the other weeds. Should I use NSFW first? So I think the answer is yes. You put NSFW out first to tackle any of the weeds that NSFW does kill. You can apply Spartan then within the acceptable period, which is...
Oh, really? Like the next day?
Yeah, because you need to obviously let NSFW act on the leaf.
Mm-hmm.
Then you might be thinking about using an alternative selective herbicide to kill the weeds that have already emerged. That Spartan will not stop from emerging. All right. People will be surprised that I was able to articulate that. Angus McGregor on Facebook. Angus is one of our OGs.
Yeah, top commenters.
Hi guys, firstly thanks for the delivery early this week. Keen to get started and use it. Question: what is the difference between NSFW and bow and arrow?
Chemically, absolutely nothing.
NSFW is a much cooler product.
But our bottle's way cooler. Yeah, I mean, look, there might be some fillers that are used that are different, but it contains the same active ingredient. Obviously, when you have a look at the active ingredient makeup, I think, it was 15, 20 and 10. So 300 grams per litre, 20 grams and 15 grams. So obviously there's quite a lot of material still missing out of that. So yeah, it's obviously with fillers and stuff that help the chemical bind to get like gel together rather than doing weird stuff. But same active ingredients, treats the same weeds. Our bottle's cooler.
Yeah, so if you have a bottle of bow and arrow at home because you purchased it and you've got a smaller enough lawn that you might have 5 treatments left in that bottle, and you're looking at one of our packs, you could substitute bow and arrow and buy a different pack that doesn't have NSFW in it. And then obviously if you have neither of those products and you're looking to buy a selective herbicide, you make the decision on which company you think you'd rather deal with, which company will freight it to you quicker, which company has...
which company gives back to their customers
more accessible and genuinely kind directors. All right, conflict on IG. In a rental and can't figure out a decent way to water the nature strip without hand watering, which is tedious and kind of embarrassing on a busy street. Firstly, I think you need to, don't worry about embarrassment. Fuck everyone.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Now, don't fuck everyone, but fuck everyone. Don't want to run a hose across the footpath, but I hate to see the contrast of the yellow nature strip 1 metre away from the green front lawn. Should I give up, or is there a way I can irrigate without running a hose across the path? Okay, this is probably my wheelhouse. You happy for me to take this one?
Happy for you to take this one.
Currently, there is no way for you to get water somewhere without using pipe. You can't get water to the verge without crossing the path in some way. The things that I would suggest you look at doing would be one, knock a pipe under the path and put in an irrigation system in that is permanent. You could put some sprinklers on one side and just spray back and then run that hose back to your house. Obviously, any advice I'm giving you around verges now is to be taken in conjunction with local council rules and regulations. Most of them don't really give a shit if you're doing the right thing, but obviously the more expensive your rates are, the higher likelihood is that your council will not want you touching shit. 2, you could install an irrigation system on that lawn and have a hose come out and snap it on, so you can get snap-on fittings that you can click the hose on. The issue you've got then is you're running a hose across a path that could cause people to trip over, and then you're creating a hazard. So I would suggest, if you're not able to hand water it because you are shy and you don't like the beeps and the ogling of the drivers as they're driving past, that I would dig down either side of the path and kind of drill under the path using water and a hose, or dig down so you can kind of get under there and push a hose through. And then hook up a very simple irrigation system. If you're interested in doing something like that, obviously waterpro.com.au is one of our businesses that will help you. So you can check it out there and get a free design or some advice. But if you are not going to use WaterPro and you do need help from an irrigation standpoint, I strongly advise to try and find a professional irrigation shop in your local area rather than going to the hardware shops that do not stock the same quality products and may not have the same depth of understanding. All right. Travis Holt on YouTube. Any recommended process and product regime for converting from a rotary mower to a cylinder mower? Kaikuya lawn out here in the wild, wild west. WA.
That's a good question. There's not really anything that you really need to change. The only thing you'll probably want to change is the height of cut from the rotary mower to the cylinder mower. So you could try and maybe bring, depending on what height you're cutting at, but typically rotary mowers don't cut. So rotary mower will probably be cutting at 20 mil? About 20 mil. So the height of a cylinder mower at 20 mil is quite high. So you might just want to slowly bring the height of cut down. That'd probably be the only thing that you'd want to maybe consider. That face doesn't look good.
No. Okay. So in the interest of full transparency, I will read the question. In between dreams on TikTok, my girlfriend broke up with me last week, so I stole her wheelchair. Now she's come crawling back to me. All right. Anyway, next question. Chris Lee on TikTok.
That's mine.
I just read the fucking thing.
That's one of my jokes. That's not mine personally, but that's the kind of humour that.
Do you want a drink, Jonesy?
No, I'm good.
I got Red Bull.
No.
And passion fruit water.
If I have a Red Bull, that'll be my heart done for the week.
This is the kind of drink that might hint that you get pegged. All right. Chris Lee on TikTok. How to stop my kike from browning after being cut?
Cut more regularly. So if you're cutting once a week, try and cut at least twice a week. If you're already cutting twice a week, try and cut 3 times a week.
Or introduce PGR into your regime.
Yes. If you can only cut once a week, then yes, I'd be looking at introducing some plant growth regulator like Primo Max into your regime. That'll reduce mowing by up to 55%. So you'll be able to cut once a week much more comfortably with potentially less browning.
Sam Durwood on YouTube. G'day crew, do you have plans to sell large volumes of liquids?
This is like the most common question that we're getting on these.
We got asked this, last time I was on the podcast, that was a question.
It was asked last week as well.
Sorry. I will need to take a break and go get my Rennies out of the car in a sec. It's getting out of control. I had some Japanese for lunch and it's punching me in the stomach. So, yes, we do have a plan to sell large volume liquids at some point. As mentioned previously, it's unlikely that we're going to do anything before the next growing season. as big and as strong as Lawnhub may appear from the outside, it is still very much a startup business. And so cash flow management is something that we're very conscious of. And, we're going to move into winter at some point, hopefully never. But, the reality is we might have some cooler months. And so from a business standpoint, what I do now is I start to contract our stock and convert our stock back into cash leading into winter so that I've got enough cash to handle financial losses. So we may lose, I don't know, we could lose 20 grand a month for a couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I say lose money, we don't sell stock. We still have to pay rent, wages, electricity, insurance, all that other shit. And so it's not a good time of year for us to expand our product range. And so the likelihood is that we will springboard those kind of products in September, probably September 1, you'll start to see that kind of thing come out. And as I touched on before, we're working on some kind of liquid filling potential solutions that might improve our efficiencies and our flexibility. And so it might be, I'm pretty confident it'll be then. It's just a lot of things have happened a lot faster than we had probably planned for. And we're working on kind of dealing with the day-to-day every day. Right. And then we don't get time to plan for the future. And that's my life. Like every business is always, I kind of describe our businesses as a cargo ship that goes at the speed of a speedboat with containers falling off of it on the way. And as long as the ship gets to the next port, I'm fine. If we lose 20% of the containers, we'll deal with it when we get there.
Yeah.
But that's very much how I believe that startups and, ADHD style entrepreneur-led businesses operate. And then at some point we have to accept that it needs to be moved from being a teenager into being an adult, and then I can't be in charge anymore. And then all the boring stuff happens.
But then, it goes back to the 12 immutable laws, which is ready, fire, aim. So it's very much in line with that.
Yep. All right. At the moment, this is one of the second to last questions. So if anyone does have a question they want answered, you can push it through and you'll get one today. Otherwise, I'll get Jonesy to answer these two questions. Then we'll talk about the soil test kit, and then we'll work out how to give away some shit.
Mm-hmm.
So JD Weezer, Wezza, 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 yeah. On IG. When's the best time to overseed perennial rye into a kikuyu lawn if the kikuyu is still pumping?
Does it say where he's located or anything like that?
No.
I mean, obviously, if you're in South Australia, you wouldn't want to do it this week, but you definitely want to slow the growth down of the kikuyu, that's for sure. So if you go on our Lawnhub website, there's a pack called Spread Your Seed Pack. Now, I'm not saying to buy the pack, but there's a list of instructions on that landing page, and it goes through quite intensely on, and although it refers to cooch, it's still applicable to all grass varieties that you're planning to do this on. So your zoysia, kikuyu, any cooch variety. I mean, you wouldn't need to do it for oversowing, but in an existing perennial rye. But basically what you want to do is slow the growth down of the kikuyu. So plant growth regulator, get it stopping, and you typically apply that at a higher rate. Scout, overseed, top dress, and then more importantly, you've got to keep that seed consistently damp, not soaking, and because as soon as it dries out, the germination rate of seed that's gone from wet to dry, it significantly reduces.
I think that's what happened in my front yard. I seeded it, and then I don't set an irrigation schedule for it, and then I don't know, go to Fiji for a week. And then I'm sitting on the beach and I'm like, oh, I need to water my lawn like I just did before.
Yeah. So definitely, anyone looking to overseed, definitely that list of instructions is quite intensive. I think Max would have written it because it's been there before I've started.
That's interesting. I never knew about the seed germination, like reduction of germination. It makes a lot of sense. Most things do, right? Once you hear them.
Yeah, because typically, if you follow a correct water schedule, you should expect a 95% germination rate. Some brands give out a 98% chance, but realistically, in a home setting, if you get 75 to 80%,
if you can tell the difference, then I'm not going to say. I got an email that came through, I think yesterday, that you could probably answer, but I've got this one here. Sophie Dench on Facebook. This is our backyard. What would you recommend using? We have a house inspection in 2 weeks. Just for everyone watching, Jonesy's looking at the photo of the lawn. It is sparse, shady, compact, and the photo is a bit dark, but it looks very compacted. And it's Kikuyu. You think?
Definitely looks like it.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if we can show that.
There's a lot.
You probably can't see that.
If you send it to me, I can put that on there.
There's a lot going on there, and I generally think the only thing that you can do in such a short period of time is just apply some fertilizer, get a wetting agent, and then potentially 3 to 4 days out from the renovation, from the house inspection, just supply some roots and shoots. So the lawn builder packs probably,
because it's a rental as well. Like a lot of people that rent aren't overly keen on spending too much money on their lawn because it's not, they might not be there in whatever. Dylan, I'm just going to send the photo through so that people at home can see it. So Dylan will have it. Some people would use Money Shot potentially as well, but at least if you buy roots and shoots or that lawn builder pack, it's a bit more, I don't know, reusable. And
there's a lot more conditions and situations it can be used in.
there you go. So that's the photo up there on the screen. It's not that bad actually now that I see it on the big screen. I know it's pixelated, but it's patchy on the house side. I imagine that would be kind of shady. It probably doesn't help that it's dark. If that was my lawn and I was trying to get it ready for something, I'd be coring it, which I don't think you want to spend the money on. Well, I don't know what you want to spend your money on, but I'd be coring it. Trojan, BBW, water. And if the weather's warm, I'd be mowing that every 2 days and just keep chopping the top off, water, chop the top off. And then, like Jonesy said, a couple of days before something. You could use Money Shot.
You could, but I think in that situation...
Well, also, I wouldn't want to be spraying Money Shot close to that wall.
No, yeah. In a completely unrelated topic, I'm assuming that this house potentially is on the eastern, like East Coast or something. It's funny how none of
no fierce course.
There's no perimeter barrier. No. Where here in SA, we couldn't have our slab insurance if we didn't have.
Well, the house won't get signed off. They come and check the slab waterproofing. They actually have to paint waterproofing onto the slab.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope that's helped, Sophie. Daniel Pittman on Facebook. Hey, legends from Gawler East. Daniel Pittman.
Oh yeah, Dry. He's the. He's the one with that we used the ad for.
Okay. Well, he said, just letting you know, I put down NSFW 4 days ago and it has wiped out the weeds. Great job.
Beautiful. Yeah. Well, I mean, with the heat that we've had, you just needed to time your application right, and you let the weather do the rest. And absolutely scorch them.
I feel like drinking alcohol. Joel Devitt on Facebook. Love the products. Keep up the great work, legends.
Thanks, Joel.
Thank you, Joel. Shane on IG. I was on last week regarding my lawn damage from dog piss. It's been really flooding the areas with... I've been really flooding the areas with water and it's actually looking better. Can I win the battle or should I get something to help still? Oh, with water? I mean, water's going to help.
It is tough. I mean, there was a comment on our YouTube last week. About using day-old rice in your dog's diet.
Someone, I think they might have sent it through to us because, using rice in their food.
I'd never heard, not saying that I've heard everything, but I've never heard day-old.
Well, you've been on lawn group forums for 5 to 10 years and people ask about dog piss once a day.
True. But I still would have thought I would have saw... Because as soon as I saw that, I was like, fuck, I might try that.
I took some photos of my back lawn yesterday and then a week ago to show you because where the dog's been pissing, there's lawn now that's not browning off. It's actually greening up. Yeah, and it's kind of like a signal that the lawn actually is hungry again. I haven't, because I've been very conscious not to over fertilize my lawn this year because in years past it's been aggressively over chemicaled. And yeah, so I'm like, all right, when the piss stops killing the lawn, it's time to fertilise.
Yeah, well, that's a good indication because essentially that's what piss is. Dog
The
piss.
urea.
It's urea. It's a high concentrate of nitrogen. It's just like fertilizer burn.
So Shane, it's really up to you. You could buy more. You could buy some roots and shoots or something, or just keep using water. Obviously, getting water on the piss immediately after a dog's done it will not just like reduce the chances. I would suggest it will eliminate it from burning if you can dilute it away enough. That's why I have my irrigation cycle on every day, which is going to start to get challenging in winter. But then in winter, I find if we have a lot of rain, it doesn't. It's not as much of a problem as well.
Yeah, obviously, the dry heat has a bit like the previous comment about NSFW destroying the weeds. Here in SA, you do something, then the sun affects it. Obviously with dog piss, it's over application of something like nitrogen, and then the sun gets to it, and then
I'm just turning some sprinklers on.
Sean Smalley got back to me as well.
All right, you give the people that have just started tuning in some context about the question before you answer it, because there might have been some people that weren't listening.
So Sean asked a question, thoughts on fungal, but the area looked really wet in the photo, and then we said, can we have a back photo about it, of it? And he said it was watered at the time of the picture and scalped that section the day before. I just think I think it'll be fine. It's just recovering,
From being, oh yeah,
yeah. I think time.
If that was my lawn, I'd be fertilising it.
Yeah, well, if
he hasn't,
because I can't remember if he said if he fertilised or not, but fertiliser, wetting agent, time of a scalp is very important as well. Keep some moisture in the soil, distribute it evenly, help those roots recover.
JT on Facebook, hi guys, does it matter much what time of year I install a Water Pro irrigation system as far as turf recovery in all the dug up lawn and replacement areas? Great podcast, by the way. Thanks, JT.
Thanks, JT. I mean, I've installed irrigation in the middle of summer and the middle of winter.
The middle of winter just means that the replaced turf might take a bit longer to repair.
That's essentially the difference.
I wouldn't. Well, it depends on how much. If you've got stuff coming up where the lawn has to look good, but I wouldn't not install an irrigation system because of the lawn, because the pros are going to outweigh the cons.
That's right. I mean, if you're looking at the best time to install irrigation, be around that spring reno, because the lawn looks like shit anyway. So.
Yeah, you'd start getting something now and start thinking about putting it in September. Or one of the good things about installing an irrigation system on the exit of a winter period is that the ground will be quite wet and it'll be a lot easier to dig. You will make a bit more mess potentially, but nothing that you can't top dress and mow out.
Yeah, that's right. Especially with a reno incoming as well.
Yeah, whenever you want to do it, I would do it. You'll find irrigation shops get really quiet in winter as well, and you'll get a much higher level of service and turnaround. Water Pro in the peak of spring and summer might be doing 40 to 50 irrigation designs a week. And I mean, it's not that they don't do a great job. It's just that stuff can trip over and fall when emails don't get responded to quickly, or the shop gets busy. So that's when I'd be thinking about it. But it's kind of like air conditioners, right? No one's sticking them in winter. So okay, the Captain Mate on TikTok. I bought the Wet College Party Pack. I've got winter green cooch. It's struggling to green up. Okay. Firstly, thank you for buying the Wet College Party Pack. We appreciate the business. Secondly, without knowing what you've done, it's hard to comment, but it doesn't. If you've bought the stuff and you've put it out, there might be other impacting things. If the winter green's in Tasmania, maybe.
Yeah, it's been quite cool there recently.
But yeah, we probably need a bit more context to answer, to give you some feedback. But if you're struggling to green it up and you've fed it, then there might be something else going on. You got anything to add to that?
Not really. I mean, yeah, it all depends, like soil condition as well. If it's compacted, then getting a lockup of nutrients regardless of what you apply. Yeah. Right. A photo match with that would be wicked. Then we'll have a much clearer idea potentially.
So the Captain Mate, if you are still on TikTok and genuinely want us to give you some help, email adam@lawnhub.com.au with the photo, and we'll be able to give you some advice, especially considering you've already got the Wet College Party Pack. We'll be able to help you out. Shiplu on Facebook. Hi there. Should we put pre-emergent when the soil temperature goes below 14 degrees?
I read something the other day on one of the lawn pages about not applying pre-emergent too early because of the soil temps, but it's never like you want to get it down before things start germinating, because as soon as they start germinating, it's game over. Yep. Because those weed seeds once they've started to germinate, they've already produced enough cells to then be able to photosynthesize and then turn into a weed. And that's essentially what prodiamine or pre-emergent does, is it stops the seeds from being able to reproduce cells to be able to photosynthesize and turn into a plant. So, yeah, all the research and especially that study on prodiamine that I read and then implicated at Dad's place, you can never be too early to apply pre-emergent.
Especially if you do it consistently.
Yeah, but you can be too late. So,
well, it takes the pre out of pre-emergent, right?
That's right. You'd rather, because if you apply now, what are we in March? Which if you follow the amateur pack calendar, March 1st is when we apply our pre-emergent. You're going to get, through to September, and then you reapply it to stop things like paspalum.
Yeah, 6 monthly, right? Yeah. That's the idea.
Crabgrass and, so, just do it.
Oh, I don't think we can use that. I think that's actually trademarked.
Just get it down.
Just spray it everywhere.
Yeah, Barricade and Spartan, or Barricade was first, but Spartan's now registered to use in the garden. It wasn't this time last year. So Barricade's always been registered to use in the garden beds, which is interesting.
Dill, you just sent me through a photo of questions. Okay, that's right. We've got both of them. Oh, your old mate Kira's covering all bases, but thank you. Casey Mears on YouTube. Hey guys, it's probably been covered. Should you mow first, then apply NSFW, Spartan, or wait a few days? Cheers from Byford in Western Australia.
So NSFW, you need to mow either 4 days before application or 4 days after. Spartan, doesn't matter. You can mow, then apply it, water it in. You can apply it. Spartan just needs to be watered in. So
obviously one of them, so NSFW is a product that needs to be applied to the leaf. So by cutting, in a lot of cases, you're removing the leaf that you're trying to adhere to kill. Mm-hmm. That's why we don't cut before and after. With the Spartan, we're trying to get into the soil. So you could have no lawn and you could use Spartan, and you would obviously not be able to seed your lawn, but you're going to stop weed seeds from...
Essentially, yeah. If you had if you're on acreage and you had a certain area that always gets destroyed by weeds, you can just apply pre-emergent there and nothing will pop up. Just be a muddy mess, potentially.
Pretty sure I just broke my headphones.
Ran over it again.
No, I'm back.
And he's back.
I stood on the cable. I don't know. I think we could probably do with some improvements on how we have our cable management. Have you ever had this monster?
I used to sell a lot of them.
Is this good? I've never had it, and I bought it today because I was like, oh, that looks good. Got me.
It's like TikTok cult following.
Really?
Yeah.
So I should have kept it on ice. I bought these Red Bulls. I think because I'm not drinking, I'm kind of supplementing my addictions, which is great behaviour. Probably should supplement it with going for a run, right?
It's funny you say cult following because, whenever Monster was on special in the supermarket, I'd still sell the black can 4 to 1, 5 to 1 to them. Just
the black one's the popular one.
It's got...
Just the sugar.
Yeah.
Normal version, that's sugar.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I used to sell it, Dylan. It's all right.
Yeah, shut up. Yeah, thanks for letting us be engaging. That's great.
Love you, Dylan.
Oh, far out. Hi, guys, in a rental. Connor on YouTube. Hi, guys, in a rental with a decent amount of weeds. Is it too late to apply NSFW for the grass to recover in time for winter?
You can apply NSFW whenever weeds are actively growing. So if they're actively growing now...
The back half of Connor's question was for the grass to recover in time for winter. So obviously if 50% of your lawn is weeds and you kill them, and then you're hoping for your kikuyu or your cooch to grow into those areas, that could be a concern. But to be honest, I wouldn't not do it for that reason.
No.
Because you want to get rid of your weeds, right?
That's right. And we've still got, I mean, depending on where you are, I mean, we've still forecasted warm weather for next week again.
I'm like expecting it to be warm until May.
Yeah.
Because Live's in April.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a funny way of making sure that we have warm weather here for Live.
You remember last year, Liv, the week before it absolutely pissed down. We got like 40 or 50 mil that day, and then it didn't rain. And
I
it
can
was
tell you,
perfect cloud seeding.
it will be. Don't say that. Fuck. We're gonna we. He means rye seed.
Yeah.
Rye grass seeding.
Yeah.
It will be Live. It will be like 30 to 34, like every day. It'll be nuts.
It will be.
It'll be a 26, a 30, a 34, and then maybe this random 36, and it's like, oh yeah, the Saturday was a bit rough. There's interestingly Anzac Day inside that as well, the Thursday, which will be interesting. They're doing the Pro-Am on the Wednesday this year because of that.
Yes.
It'll be a practice day for the guys for Anzac Day. Explore North Queensland on Facebook. Hey guys, do you have a product that can control nutgrass and weeds that won't kill North Queensland buffalo, in brackets carpet grass, as a competitor product recently used killed the buffalo and the weeds are still growing?
What product was it? Because the product I have in my mind
Is probably the one you've used.
Yeah, it's probably because carpet grass or North Queensland buffalo or whatever you want to call it can be quite susceptible to a lot of herbicides because of its broadleaf traits. So yeah, if we can find out the product you used or even just the active, that'd be awesome.
All right. So Kira's cat just sent us TRF2R. And she said, sorry, that was my cat. All right. So we don't have any questions left, but I do want to talk to you about the recent addition to our website for the soil test kit. As last night I was watching our sales, as I do more than most people probably would think is healthy. And I noticed that we sold our first Lawnhub soil test kit process. Holy, Did you plan for this? Jesus.
Yeah. Patrick, his name was, from Western Australia.
Don't give any more information away. He might be a very private guy.
Sorry.
Thanks, Patrick.
I've been talking to Patrick this morning. It's all good.
All right.
I hope.
You hope?
That's it. That's the soil test on special at the moment.
So talk me through this, because I think we might have touched on it before, but sometimes people will ask questions and talk about things, and obviously my lawn's a great example of like why do you keep doing shit without really knowing what you're doing. Who and why would we be using a soil test?
So basically, the soil test would be perfect for someone like yourself. For the last 4 years,
All the gear and no idea. Is that what you're saying?
no, but we can add that in. So for the last 4 years, you've really struggled with even coverage, even colour, and just general growth, right? So a soil test will reveal exactly, and this is only a snapshot of the soil test. There is a second part of it, but for the image purposes, we needed to make it a square. But it'll basically...
So you could have had 2 squares.
Could have, but for the purpose of wanting to launch it,
Don't let the perfect be the
Yeah,
enemy
that's
of the
right.
good. Yep.
you get something like this, right? So, and all these abbreviations are part of the periodic table, which if you scroll down, Dylan, are all listed. So, and if you scroll back up, so, you know, if this was a lawn, this is actually probably not a bad lawn. You know, we got a very high amount of iron, what's Mn? Manganese, Zn and zinc, and CC from memory is...
Keck is a slang term for poo.
Well, there you go. Anyway, so, you know, it's going to really highlight where your soil is potentially lacking or potentially what it has too much of. And basically what that will mean is then we'll be able to put together and go, okay, well, Clint's lawn is really suffering in phosphorus and potassium, which is personally something that I think your soil is lacking. But introducing phosphorus and potassium takes time, so it's not going to be a one application fix. So
Is that what got laid would be a...
yeah, so in that situation, I would recommend to cease all applications of any other fertilizer you've got within reason.
So roots and shoots is excluded from that.
Yeah, but I meant like if you're using...
So don't keep pumping Trojan into it.
Yeah, don't keep pumping Trojan because whilst it has a little bit of potassium, it's the phosphorus and potassium which are in got laid, which is the perfect all-round fertilizer.
So that fertilizer that I stole from wherever, the small Prill one that was like 10-10-10 almost.
Yeah.
That's what I should be using.
Potentially,
without
yeah.
the 10, but like...
Well, I mean, you can get a... Like on Dad's Green, for example, I use a high K fertilizer, which is potassium.
back's so sore.
And the roots
I'm just
in
going to
his...
start letting it go.
The roots in his green and his Kaiku, for example, is off its head. So, you know, we'll be able to tailor something, but then yours could almost like come back and go, all right, your moisture retention in the soil is garbage. So
And that will come in the soil test?
Yeah.
So, say I'm interested in getting this, I'll go on the website, buy it for 110 now, which is usually what, 134.95.
Yep.
And then I'll get shipped a kit or a bag
So what happens is, and as we use this more, it'll get better. But
is it shit at the moment?
no, it's just you don't get a box or anything. It's just...
Oh, so you want to like give them the Apple experience?
Well, I think it would be nice if we could eventually get it to a point where it's, like you say, the Apple experience. But for now, you'll purchase it. You'll get an automated email to download a list of instructions. And in that list of instructions will give you what you need to do. You'll then receive an email. If just say you, like Patrick last night, he ordered it at night. So we made contact with him. I made contact with him next morning because Jai's off sick at the moment. So the emails from that correspondence go to Jai, but he's off. So I was like, hey, Patrick, just want to confirm these details are correct. And he said, yep. So I sent him the prepaid label. That's all done. And then all he has to do is do 2 cups or 500 grams of soil without any green material or roots if possible. Put it in a Ziploc bag and then just find a box around the house, put the label on it and drop it in Australia Post box.
And then that goes to our lab.
Goes to the lab.
And then we get the report.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will give the client the report and the recommendations.
Yep.
And that's all included for that 134.95.
Mm-hmm.
No shit.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, I think it's pretty...
What with my lawn, would you do multiple soil tests? Like,
yeah, I would probably... I mean, 2 cups, what's...
Yeah, but 2 cups from different areas. Like,
Yeah. Well, what you could do is you could label them. So, and
we need to obviously cross this bridge because I might do 4.
Well, this is what I need to work out with the lab. Like, if someone wants, say, their front and backyard done.
Yeah. Is there is there a cheaper way of doing it?
Yeah, because like at the moment, I would if someone was to ask that, because I haven't got the proper answer to that. It's for the right thing for the customer would be just to do 2 separate ones and send it, and we'll front the cost of whatever for now, and then work it out as we go along. But for you, and again, sort of falls into that, you do parts of the lawn that are say good, so that top section, do a soil test from there, label it good section, and then you could probably do the other areas and potentially combine them together and find, what the fuck's going on. Yeah,
okay.
Because like I've tried watching that video of you and Ervo installing the irrigation, but I can't. There didn't seem to be much difference in that top section.
No,
I think maybe because it's the least sloped, can hold a bit more moisture.
Yep, I think that's fair.
So,
And look, to be honest, I haven't put a wetting agent out for a while, and
I was thinking the same thing. I've actually got no BBW, no wet at home.
like
And it's my favourite product, and I haven't used them.
Same, mate, as well.
Yeah. So, yeah.
All right, we don't have any more questions. We've talked about a Celebrum, we've talked about the giveaways, we've talked about Live, we've talked about the soil test kit. How are we giving away gifts today?
I need to quickly go get my laptop because that's got all the. For some reason, it's not working on my phone. So give
All
me
right, I'm
2
gonna.
secs.
I'll keep looking around and see if there's any questions we haven't answered so far. Does Paspalam go dormant or completely die off in winter?
If it's cold enough, yes.
I've got an infection in my kike and can't justify buying Proforce Duke to spray it out.
Wait for it to go dormant and spray barricade or Spartan.
As he was walking out, he said, "Wait for it to go dormant and spray barricade or Spartan." So obviously, as a pre-emergent for the year that follows, I'm just going to go scrolling through and see if we've got any more questions that haven't been answered. Yep, need 5 litre bottles. I understand. And if we have the demand, we will chase that. I don't think we've got any more questions. Happy Friday. Any chance you have a stockist in Gold Coast? We've covered that one off. Impala is the miracle worker for the fungal side of things. Just dropped half a bucket of Trojan while it was raining. Love that product. That's from Christopher Grayson. Chaos Within 27. Agree with Kieran, learning so much from these live at lunch episodes. Actually, I'm interested to know, and we might just do a poll and just work out what time's better. These podcasts late in the day on Friday, I feel are a little bit more. Although we haven't really had, it hasn't been as engaged today, has it? Like,
Not compared to.
yeah, I don't think we promoted this one much. I didn't send an email out or anything. So Kira just sent through a question saying, Shane on Instagram, do you know much about mowers? Is Toro a good mower? I do know a little bit about mowers. Look, Toro sit inside the brand or in the world of probably 2, and some would argue 3, and some would probably argue more of the brands that are used on golf courses worldwide. You know, I drove down a fairway today at Grange, where Live's being played when they're here in 6 weeks, and I had 3 Toro mowers driving kind of side by side coming towards me mowing their fairways. So I've also had a Toro Greens mower at home, and they're great. I guess if you're referring to the Toro residential stuff, I don't know what they've got. I think they might have some stuff that you can buy at hardware shops. I'm not answering for that side of things. But the only thing to be aware of, and if you've got the $4.5 to $15,000 to $20,000 to buy a Toro mower for home, then you know you'll be very happy. But sometimes you'll find that they're too big and too cumbersome and too hard to maneuver. So I think it's very much a case of choosing the right mower for the right size lawn. I just got a question here saying, do you know much about mowers? Is Toro a good mower? I mean, the answer is obviously yes.
Yes.
But it's also not a mower that everyone's going to be able to use at home.
Well, it depends. If they're talking about the cylinder mowers,
Yeah, that's what I was answering. I wasn't referring to kind of just like hardware shop stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the cylinder mowers are one of the best in the world.
Yeah, well, I had one at home, but it was just too big.
Yeah.
And too heavy and too cumbersome, and you need a bit of a runway to be able to turn off the mower. So what happens is you'll engage it and it will start moving, and it moves fast. If you don't know what you're doing, you'll lose control, and if you let go of it, it will keep driving, and then you have to disengage it, and so it's quite a hard mower to learn to use for a residential person.
But if you're referring to the Time Master, which is their push behind rotary, they're also a good mower as well. They're a commercial mower as well. That they do make smaller versions of them, but I think Toro equipment in the machinery side of things are one of the largest. I don't know if they're bigger than John Deere anymore, but definitely the Toro equipment is. I mean, it's full on,
Substantial.
yeah. But they're sprinklers. The sprinklers are right.
If you can get them. Any intention to write a drop spreader guide for your products? After watching your backyard reno, I was keen to get one and keen to use one. I completely agree. I think the fact that we don't have a spreader guide for all our products is kind of unprofessional and silly. So yes, we will get one together. I don't know how that happens, but I'll show you how it happens. Watch this. Hey, can you make sure you have a drop spreader guide sorted out before the start of next season?
Yep.
There you go. You've got one.
It'll be in our lawn guide.
We're getting a lawn guide?
For free, not going to charge people.
That's classy. All right, Clint Osborne on Facebook. Good lesson today, fellas. Must
Thanks,
be time for a beer or two. Not me. I'm drinking Mountain Franklin's finest passion fruit flavoured sparkling mineral water.
I just love water. I know.
That's a gift.
I've lost nearly 7 kilos this year.
You still look fat.
It's because of this.
This is why I look fat. Nothing to do with the 30 to 40 kilos I'm carrying. What are you doing? You giving away something?
Yeah, so last week I ran a competition where you had to send me a screenshot for a 5-star rating on Apple Podcast or
Where did they send it to? Your email address?
Spotify, yeah, just to my email address.
How are we ranking on podcast stuff? Are we actually...
And we're 13th at the moment.
Get fucked.
We're a fucking big deal, man.
13th?
Yeah.
That must be a shallow pool of talent. What are you serious?
Yeah.
Home and Garden in Australia. Is Joel's podcast in there?
I think it is.
Are we above him?
I'm not going to say anything. But
Joel.
No, fucking answer the question.
What's Joel's podcast? Is it the Aussie Home and
The
Garden?
landscaping podcast?
actually, I don't think he is on.
Oh, fuck. That's all I care about is beating him. Couldn't do it with a landscape podcast. I'll do it with a lawn one.
Joel Barnett.
Yep. How do you look up those Apple things? You just Google it? We're not beating him.
We've moved down. No, he's not on there.
He's not even on there.
Yeah, but he might not have his category as home and garden.
I think that means we're winning.
I don't even know who that is.
Joel, he's a landscaper from Victoria who is, I would say, has recorded the most landscaping podcasts in Australia.
Entrepreneurship is his category.
What's that?
Entrepreneurship.
He would not have chosen that category, surely.
Well, you have to pick it when you set up your Apple podcast account.
Really? And what do we choose? Home and Garden?
Have you listened to the Australian Lawn and Garden podcast?
No.
So he
Is he above us?
he would be. He's got heaps of guests, big guests.
What's it called?
The Australian Lawn and Garden podcast.
Well, we need to beat him.
We will.
No, well, what's he ranked at?
He's 24.
And we're 13?
We're 19.
It's still higher. What the fuck are you talking about?
He's had some big guests. We've had bigger guests.
Physically. What's happening? We're starting to lose the momentum of a live podcast. What are you doing?
Yeah, the Australian Lawn and Garden podcast. Anyway, so yes, following on from what I was saying,
How many people did the review?
7.
So you got a 1 in 7 chance of winning what?
Ultimate Spray Pack. Can I be honest? I thought more people were going to do it.
Yeah, that's probably why you offered to give away something of such value.
Yeah, well,
Okay, let's do a little marketing lesson. Are you ready? Are you ready? You need to let people know.
I did
How?
on the podcast.
Nah. Here's what I would have done for some. Are you open to some feedback? About
Absolutely, I'm always open to feedback.
I would have emailed all of our followers and said,
I should have put it in the weekly cart.
not even. I would have done a competition email, and I think we should do a competition email every Wednesday and say we're giving away this, we're giving away, we're giving away, we're giving away. Almost like give it away, give it away, give it away, give it away now, and then say you just have to give us a review. 2-prong approach. They might not even know we do a podcast, so they're like, "Oh, that's cool. I'll go watch it."
Yeah.
Or 2, who cares? They don't. They give us a 5-star review anyway, and we start to climb algorithmically. That's marketing.
That's how.
This bloke.
Yeah, that's why you get paid the big bucks.
It's fucking a lot of money, actually.
Yeah. So you've got what is it?
7 people. Remember when we gave away a full load pack for reviews? We had 130
Yeah, you
people.
did. We did.
Here's one for you. Do it again. Do it in this weekly cut. We need to work. So what I'm thinking, we need to do something outrageous this week. We made some good money yesterday. We sold a lot of shit. So I reckon we'd try and take some of that and deploy it against some giveaway. It's just the freight that's killing me. I don't want to freight $2,500 worth of Trojan. So I'm thinking we give away 100 tubs of Trojan. It's logistically shit. We'll come up with something, but I'll have to help you. So this week's weekly cut, we'll talk about... What are you going to talk about?
I was just going to talk. I've started writing it. So let's have a look at my notes. So just started talking about after much doubt in the office around the success of the weekly cut. It's now the 100th edition.
Well, I think everyone thought it was going to be shit because you were doing it.
Potentially.
Who said it wasn't going to fail? Me?
You. I think, and
then everyone just copied me because they like me.
I think the words that we used were like, that's a fucking shit idea.
No one's ever going to
read
fucking read you.
That's exactly along those lines.
And what's your open rate? 40%.
45%.
Which is like 15 to 18% above average industry standard opening rates.
Yep. It's one of our most successful platforms.
All right. Well, I'm glad I came up with it.
Yep. I remember JP, he said he was all about it because he could do like cool graphics for it.
Yeah.
And then
JP fucking deserted us.
Yeah, he went to Adelaide United. They're in a bit of hot water at the moment, but anyway.
What for?
What for?
I don't watch anything. I watch you, a little bit of like Tucker Carlson, sprinkle in some Joe Rogan, some fucking, Two Bears and porn for like 8 minutes a week.
How do I get around this politically correct?
What, so is it in the news?
Yeah.
So you just say it.
One of their players...
Allegedly.
No, it's not allegedly because it was on his Instagram.
Oh, did something he shouldn't have done?
Well, it's Pride Round and he said that he...
Oh, denounces it?
Because of his
religious. So back to the rugby player, what's his name? Folau?
Yeah, Folau. Yeah.
So basically what he did.
Just not to the extent of what Folau did.
Yeah. Oh, that's tough. It's a complicated world, man.
It really is.
Everyone's... You know what's really funny? And this is going to piss some people off, but the fact that we live in a world where we have the privilege to create rounds and then argue about it puts us in some of the luckiest
absolutely
people on earth.
But
that's the drama. It's home and away syndrome. I've told you about this.
Yeah, I know. Home and away syndrome I use quite frequently as a analogy. Or
so while he's doing this, I'll explain home and away syndrome. So I have a belief that there's a large portion of human beings that grew up watching Home and Away who feel comfortable when volcanoes are exploding and wiping out buses, and then people are having affairs, and then other people are coming into town and there's crime. And so when they feel happiness, they create problems, home and away syndrome. And if you can kind of elevate yourself above that and just try not to have any problems or not let problems into your life, then you move into comedy special land where life's just laughs and happiness. Anyway, that's enough advice from me. Can you please do this draw? Because I'm sure we're losing followers. How many are there?
7.
So what? We're going to pick a number?
It's gone on the wheel.
Oh, the Wheel of Fun. You should have let Dylan do it on the big screen.
Oh, sorry.
Who is it?
What number?
It's on a bridge between... it's on 1.
1? So the first person that reviewed it was, and this was like a minute afterward,
Angus McGregor.
Jack Ross.
Thanks, Jack.
On Spotify. So I will email Jack back.
Not to be confused with Jack Black. All-time legend human being.
He's looking really old these days. I had this conversation with Angel the other day.
That's what happens.
About
the years go by, you get older.
No, like the people that
He's probably 50 plus.
No, I think he looked older than that. But anyway, the people that we've grown up watching on TV, they're going to start dying soon. And be sad.
The one I'm really struggling with is Nicole Kidman.
I mean, Michael J. Fox is probably not too far. Christopher Lloyd. Kira will know. Kira will know what movie I'm referring to.
Doc Brown.
Yes, there we go.
Yep.
Okay, well, that's cool.
Even the kids born in the 90s got that one, mate. So we need to give away a bunch of stuff. So are we giving away headphones? Well, we can't now.
Well, we've still got one pair as long as you know where they are.
Yeah, but how are you going to give it away?
Well, usually we give away... Kira gives away something for the best comment. So
all right, let me go through.
Because she was still working.
Kira, have you got a comment that you want to give away stuff to, or do you want me to choose one? And
Angel just texted me, don't think you had that conversation with me. Or maybe not. Maybe it was my other girlfriend.
What conversation?
About all of our people we grow up watching will start dying soon. No, I'm pretty sure that was us, Ange. Pretty sure.
I don't think she's the most reliable resource of information, even in her own head. Would that be fair?
Well, I think maybe myself. I think
Are you not the most reliable piece of
Oh,
information?
my memory's fucking garbage.
Yeah. I do like the question about the army worm leader, army worm gang.
That's pretty good.
And I would like more questions like that. Like when we had that, if you had a cake and you had to eat it over 7 days all at once.
Yeah, actually, no. Now this I do remember having with Angel. She said she was on my side. She said she'd rather eat it in one sitting.
Yeah, but she's also a PT.
Yeah.
So she'd look at it from through a different lens. I was like, that's like, because the whole cake's too much.
But it's like, and this is going to depend on which way this goes. But when I was playing cricket and
Jones used to play very high level
we
cricket.
were at Belrive Oval when it was a drug clinic, so we were learning about the do's and don'ts of drugs and
It was like how to take drugs properly. It's
Well,
like the kind of drug clinic I'd go to. Like, don't take 2, take 1, wait an hour, see how it goes.
And it was spoken about that you'll never get to that first high, and that's sort
It's
of
fucked, man.
and that's
chasing
how,
it's
yeah,
fucked.
and that's how you get caught up in becoming an addict, because you're always chasing that first high. And for me, like, I'd rather just eat a cake and be done with it rather than trying to replicate that first feeling.
I don't
times.
believe that cake will ever be anywhere near as good as heroin or cocaine.
Probably
And I would
not.
say that chasing, like trying to compare eating a whole cake to like your first hot shot and then just,
I get it, but I love eating good food, and I couldn't eat, like, I love a double quarter pounder from McDonald's, like froth for it.
This
But
might freak you out. When I buy them, I add 2 servings of lettuce.
Lettuce,
Yeah. I'm a massive iceberg lettuce in burger fan.
okay,
And I think Hungry Jack's make a better burger than McDonald's.
yep,
And so when I get stuck at McDonald's, because I've got 3 kids who actually run our lives, not me,
yeah.
I will just add lettuce to a double quarter pounder and sometimes tomato, but usually only lettuce. And it kind of just brings me back closer to a Whopper.
The reason why I like double quarter pound or just quarter pounders in general is because the patty's thicker.
Yeah.
If
it's
Hungry-
very dense.
Yeah, if Hungry Jack's had a Whopper with a freaking dense patty like that, oh,
Carl's Jr.
yeah. But where's the nearest Carl's Jr. to where I live though? Not close. I
It got
think.
stolen.
It got stolen.
Kira has decided that Taylor Evans on YouTube with a question about Army Worm Leaders packs is going to win a prize.
Yep.
How many prizes are we giving away?
Usually we give away 3.
We did a really shocking job of this today.
Yeah.
So what should we give this person? Huh? Spray pack?
Oh, that Makita battery mower.
You
When-
can't give
when do you wanna give that
No,
away?
what we'll do is we'll give that away in the draw, in the prize draw. So what we'll do, here's what we'll do. You ready?
Yeah.
100. So this week's our 100th fucking email that doesn't work, right? So
Allegedly.
we'll give away that mower. I think we should. Have you heard back from the rotary scissors people? I really want to give away something related to 100. So either $100 items. So we'll sell stuff for $100 that should usually be 200 or 150 or whatever. So like 2 NSFWs for 100, or I don't know. What do we sell for $150 or $135? Like a
Dry college pack.
essentials pack?
Yeah, that's about 160-ish.
Ooh, that's getting too heavy on the discounts. Or we give away 100 tubs of Trojan or 100 bottles of Roots and Shoots or something. And we give away that mower. And I think we should get some other giveaways and just have so many competitions that it becomes overwhelming and no one enters. But like just ridiculous amounts of giveaways. And because we only have 2 days to work it out, we'll just spend the next 2 days stressed out about it and we'll get it to work.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. Is he? Oi.
Hey,
Oi.
does that mean he's won?
I reckon we
Yeah.
did. So Ervo, who stayed back at Grange for the presentation of the golf day I played in this morning, I messaged him just saying, did we win? And he just wrote back, yeah, mate, first place. I don't know if he's being a smart ass. I hope he's not. But we shot, I reckon we were 11 under the card with a handicap of 6.75 or 6.25. I play, I don't know if it's 40 or 38. So my legitimate GA is close to 40. So we had me on 40 We had another player on 10. I think Matt's probably close to 6 at the moment.
Yeah, Matt's off 6 at the moment.
And someone on 0. It is so like you'd almost argue that the 9 you could take to 18 if they can hit straight and not putt well.
Yeah.
You get your 40, your 18. To be honest, I could blow my handicap out to 54 for these things. I could card my way out to it. They allow you to have it.
Yeah, it depends if Grange cap it though. In Australia, you can have a club can cap the
Yeah, but
highest
mine's
handicap.
Social Golf Australia. That's my GA.
Yeah, but I think it's where you play the golf.
Yeah.
Like
Even then, they'll cap it at 36, right?
Oh, you can get it
You reckon they'll cap it at 27?
50. They can.
No,
cap
but
it.
like in an Ambrose event.
Oh, I don't know.
So, what did we win?
Yeah, what did we win, Irvo?
He wouldn't be watching this, dude.
I don't know. He's a pretty dedicated man.
Yeah, to running the business and making sure that it makes profit, not listening to us idiots talk about fertilizer. Kira's got more questions.
Oh,
Sorry,
beautiful.
Dylan, you're not going to the gym to fucking continue growing those biceps. I did not snort like that because we did drugs. All right. Close within 27 on YouTube. In a rental with Buffalo, and I've got it looking great. We'll have kike when I have my own place. Any recommendations for a relatively budget-friendly cylinder mower?
The True Yard, they're pretty.
What are they? 1,200?
Yeah,
1,500?
yeah, about 1,100. I don't know. There's when you read these things on the lawn pages, I don't know what's going on with Super Swift. I haven't really heard much of them lately. People think they've gone down the gurgler, but it's not really something I've invested time in looking into. Super Swift, that Bush Ranger, that was pretty cost.
I think mine, because it was a 17.
Yeah. No, yours is a 20.
Really?
Yeah.
So the 17 was like 1,800?
I can't remember.
I reckon
didn't
mine
have
was
one
2
there.
grand flat, and then I reckon there was one for 1,600. I think the 14 was 16, the 17 was 18, and the 20 was 2 or something like that. It was almost like $100 an inch.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I'll
Bottle
get
of red.
fucked.
Oh, and an SM9 wedge.
What is that?
That's the Titleist Vokey wedge.
As in like a 58 or like a pitching wedge?
You'd have to ask him what degree it came in.
I don't want either of those things.
What do you want, Clint?
I need a new rangefinder. Bushmill.
Bushnell.
Bushmill. No, I got a new brand. Bushmill. A bottle of red. Oh, 58.
58.
All right,
so
good.
It's
handy
lub
because I
wedge.
already have a 58 degree wedge. So what am I going to do with that? Give it away. You want to buy it? What are they worth?
I think like $250 a wedge.
I'm not excited by that. I bet second prize was really good. All right.
Like a couple of rounds at the Grange.
That doesn't rate up on me either.
I'd prefer that over an SM9 wedge.
I can get you a couple of rounds at the Grange. It's easy.
You listening, Dad?
Super Swift. I didn't say I could get your dad a couple of rounds. Dad gets a fucking hat. 17-inch cylinder mower, superswift.com.au, in stock, $17.49.
Oh, they've gone up.
I don't know.
Maybe that's
I
what the
didn't
big
Google this
hoo-ha
previously.
was about.
But yeah.
But then, the other thing as well, you do get what you pay for. So if I was to buy brand new,
$100 an inch. That's what you're paying.
yeah.
They're all in that. I mean, Cox was that.
Yeah.
Massport was higher. Mm-hmm. So Massport, we were looking at 22 for a 20, I reckon. Protea, they're not bringing in now. I reckon that was something.
I saw something on someone bought them out or bought the distribution rights. So Protea, those of you unaware, there was a bit of I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I think they avoided paying some money. If you can read between
You
the
think
lines.
is that like Wesley Snipes when he went to jail?
I don't know who Wesley Snipes is.
You
so
don't know who
I'm
Wesley
sorry.
Snipes is?
Let me Google it.
Is he fucking serious?
I don't do names, man. What's his name?
Wesley Snipes. I don't think you can work here anymore.
Hey, I've watched Top Gun now. You were very angry at me that time when I said I hadn't watched Top Gun.
Dude, I made my wife watch it before we got married.
Wesley Snipes.
Jesus. All right. Back to the questions. So anyway, to answer your question, sorry we're dancing around. It's getting late on a Friday. You said, what would your recommendations be for a relatively budget-friendly cylinder mower? If you're mechanically minded, I would look to buy a second-hand one and kind of, get it looking and working well for yourself. I think, especially as we move into what I believe will be a retraction in the economy, people generally sell gym equipment, golf clubs, and cylinder mowers when things get tight. You might pick something up for good price cash. And you might be able to sort it out. I wouldn't chase Scott Bonner 17s and 20s because they're overpriced because they're popular. They're a Michael Jordan rookie card.
Yep.
If you're just looking to mow your lawn, go try and find a secondhand Massport or a secondhand Pro Tier or a secondhand Bush Ranger, and there's not a lot that can go wrong with it. Like if it works when you look at it,
Yeah.
and it's sharp, and you can check a few basic things, you might pick up a good secondhand mower, or you could win one. Subscribe to the Weekly Cut at lawnhub.com.au. All right.
I do know who Wesley Snipes is. I just didn't know the name.
Yeah. What's Wesley Snipes famous for in America other than movies?
I didn't get that far.
Tax evasion.
Yeah.
All right. Matto on IG. Nutgrass. What's the best solution?
Halo Force, which the active ingredient is...
What time do you finish work, Deal?
Oh, when have you guys finished?
I love that answer. That's such a live answer.
It's halo sulfurin methyl.
All right.
Yeah.
Jed Waddell on Facebook, listening to your podcast and you mentioned army worm. I've been having an argument with my kikuyu for a while where it looks like worm castings, but it's really struggling. Any idea what it is? How do you identify army worm? You can see them?
Typically, you can see them.
And they don't look like the cartoons in our ads.
No, they don't.
have helmets.
No. They don't have helmets. No, they look like a green caterpillar. They're part of the caterpillar family.
A skinny caterpillar?
Yeah, just like a. Well, we get furry caterpillars.
Like the ones that turn into monarch butterflies, not them. Smaller and skinnier, less furry.
and green.
And green.
That's where they actually no. That's where they get their name from.
The army worm, because they're camo.
Because they're the same color as the army camo.
Yeah, cool.
I don't know why they're called a worm though, because they're a caterpillar.
Army pillar. Army caterpillar. Wyatt on Facebook. Did we answer that guy's question? Having an argument with my kikuyu. Worm castings, if they're genuine worms, nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I mean, worms, there are products you can use, but we don't sell them, and I wouldn't recommend them because worms are more beneficial in the soil than not.
Yep. If you are unsure and you are comfortable spending the money and putting it out, I would look at getting some acelepryn. If you are looking at getting acelepryn, I would buy it soon for two reasons. One, you want to get it down now. Two, we're getting intermittent supply issues. And if we are, everyone is, because we probably buy more than most. And I won't be surprised if it runs out.
Yes, but...
it has run out. We got more. I think it'll run out again.
But acelepryn won't kill worms.
No, but he's saying army worms
yeah.
at the start of the question. But we don't want to kill worms.
No, we don't want to kill worms, and I just want to put that to bed, that acelepryn is safe for worms. Like the amount of comments that we get on our ads about soil biology, and if you read the studies of chlorantraniliprole, which is the active in acelepryn, the rate in which acelepryn is used at has no detrimental effect in the soil. And they did, there's a nice independent study. So this wasn't one of the Syngenta ones. This was an independent study of chlorantraniliprole, which, thank you, Kira. I've been practicing how to pronounce chlorantraniliprole.
Okay. I'm guessing that's why you don't know about the rosters and stuff.
Well, forgot where I was going. Anyway,
thanks, Kira. That's how you pronounce
it doesn't. The rate in which acelepryn is applied doesn't have detrimental effect in the soil. And fun fact, Clint, did you know that the active of acelepryn originally come from a tree?
I did not know that. And then they worked out that it does something, and then they ripped it off chemically, like they did with ivermectin and the tree bark. No,
yes.
What was ivermectin? It was I shouldn't say that. This YouTube video is going to get fucking ripped.
Yeah. So the extract from the tree was extremely toxic to mammals, so they removed that part of it and created chlorantraniliprole.
Wow. There you go. I didn't know that, so I will definitely sleep well tonight. Can I go to the next question?
Yeah.
Wyatt on Facebook. If I was to lightly scarify and scalp my Sir Walter Buffalo and Zoysia australis, would it bounce back now, or is it too late? I'm up in Queensland.
Oh, you're fine.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Do it, man.
How's the Zoysia australis going? Because we don't have it down here. It's relatively new to the market.
I feel like this is a good excuse for us to fly to Queensland. You know what? Fuck it. Dylan, you're happy about this, right? Let's do Lawnhub Live and we'll tour it. and we'll go to Queensland and record some episodes.
Yeah.
Because I'm sick of, well, this weather's beautiful, but we're going to get it.
Yeah.
I'm sick of the cold weather.
Yeah.
It's 37 today.
Because when it's cold, Clint turns into a different human. So
yeah, we're setting
we
up
need
some
to
plans.
ship him around the country
And I'm a
or
bit
around
worried.
the world.
I found out a little bit more about the challenges of growing a fertilizer business in the United States. I'm a bit worried that we might not necessarily be launching there this year.
That
But
was a bit of a buzzkill, wasn't it?
it was. We've got another question. Braden on YouTube. Hey guys, have Kaikuya out the front and the back. It's a party at the front and a party at the back.
Beautiful.
But now having to deal with the flamin' galahs. Is the best option just to keep flicking the sprinklers on?
Yeah. Obviously, the reason the galahs are so attracted to Kaikuya is the same reason that Ervo found, is that the carbohydrates and the sugars and the stolons of the Kaikuya is what they love to eat.
So the options are, one, don't have a good lawn.
Yep.
And then they won't eat it. Encourage your neighbours to get involved in lawn care.
Yep.
And have a better lawn than you.
Yeah. So it's rather than just coming all in one, they can divvy it out over the whole street.
And then the other thing is you need to get rid of the galahs. Now, we would never recommend killing them because that's probably illegal and somewhat immoral. But I know that there are, scare birds like swinging owls, scarecrows, loud noises. You probably can't set off shotgun simulators in residential areas.
Goon bags.
I don't know if you're allowed to call them that, but yeah. Like,
What, goon bags? Is that not what they're called?
Well, it's 2023, dude. Is it 2023? It's 2024. You definitely can't say it.
But it's a goon bag. That's what it is.
Yep. I just think that it's probably inappropriate now, and you probably have to call it a non-binary liquid bag or something. Anyway, I had a bin chicken in my front yard the other day in the garden eating shit.
No, hang on. No, that's not what they're called.
Sacred ibis.
Sacred ibis.
I was just trying to make it easy for you to relate to because you're from Gawler. And so...
So offensive. Talks about it's 2024 and you can't say that.
And I turned the sprinklers on twice, got wet twice, hasn't come back.
Okay.
If you really wanted to go like intense with the sprinklers, you could get motion sensors that turn sprinklers on, and I could help with that. You'd basically just have to have a motion sensor that turns a solenoid on, that turns on for 30 seconds and then turns off and turns on and turns off. You might find that they just get pissed off with getting sprinkled, or being galahs, they might just be like, this is fucking sick.
Yeah, that's right.
Get to have a shower and breakfast all at once.
Yeah.
All right. I think Ervo tried to feed them aluminium powder. No, he never did that. But that's something that you could do. All right. Jed replying, listen to your podcast and mentioned Army Worm having an argument with Kaikuya. So he's replied to that question. Also, can you mix roots and shoots and three-way to try and give it a kick?
I mean, they bind together fine and they spray fine.
They're tank mixable.
They are tank mixable, but
For drench or foliar.
yeah. But if you want, for me, getting the most out of roots and shoots is applying it by itself with wet or with wet. The getting the most out of three-way is applying three-way by itself, and
Maybe alternate.
Yeah, and I know where these questions are coming from because there's a popular YouTube channel that all of their products are mixable, and you save time, but you're also applying a lot of product to the lawn at one time, and everyone's time conscious and they want to be as quick out in the lawn so it doesn't take 3 hours, you can get it all done in one. I get it, but I like getting the most out of my products that I use, and although I don't have any wet at the moment, but
Just steal some from work.
nah, I'm not a stealer
Or a thief.
or a thief. I don't think I've stolen anything in my life.
Stolen a few hearts from what I've heard. All right, so we've given away... You gave away the prize. We're going to give away more stuff on the 1 in 100. 1 in 100? Hottest 100? I don't know.
No, you can't call it that anymore. Jesus, you get the...
No, we just can't do it on Australia Day.
Sam Kerr's in trouble as well.
I came up with an idea today
Yes.
to have a Lawnhub long drive
Yes.
competition.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, after Cricket Australia refused to work with us because our logo was controversial, I was going to start a cricket tournament called the Lawnhub T10 tournament, with some interesting rules. One hand, one bounce, can't get out first ball. Everyone has to bowl except the wicket keeper, all that jazz, which we might still do, but it's very complex. But today when I was playing golf, I was like, we should have a Lawnhub long drive thing, right? I'm saying this now because I need to find a piece of grass lawn that's 500 metres long by 50 metres wide at least, where we can hit balls and have a liquor license, because I'll basically sell tickets, do it live. I'm thinking 5 or 10 grand first prize cash, and I'm thinking like September. So if anyone has an area that is metro South Australia, preferably, with that much grass, I said to Ervo we should just do it at the airport. He's like, the pat won't be big enough. I'm like, no, the airport. And he's like, you can't. I'm like, they can't fly after 10. Just do a night, like a under lights.
So you're not looking at working with a golf club?
There's no one long enough. Who's got a 500 metre driving range?
Not a driving range, but you could pick a hole. 500
metres of straight. It has to go. Yeah, you think about long drive tournaments.
I'm thinking, right, Sandy Creek, right, at the 14th.
You have to cut trees down.
No. The 14th, the par 5 along the back. Let me Google distance it. That's a pretty big drive to the water. Like that. Ervo can rip a ball, but he didn't get anywhere near it.
So that's... and you know what's funny? This is going to be sounding very disrespectful, but you need courses that haven't had elaborate design. Right? Their par 5 just has to be a long, straight par 5. Port Lincoln has one.
Kapunda's first hole, that's a freaking massive. That's nearly 600 metres, I think.
Because then you just basically draw some lines on the fairway, and it just has to be inside those lines.
But I don't know whether they'd want to be interested. But
you know what makes people interested in doing things like this?
Money talks.
Yep. So yeah, anyway, if anyone's got any ideas on where we can host this thing, we're going to do something. So you come up, watch some big dogs hit bowls, and drink some beer. Anyway, we should probably wind this thing up. How are we giving away? So we're going to give a prize to, what'd she say? Taylor Evans on YouTube. You need to email us or DM us with your information so we can send you an Army Worm battle pack. Yep. It was an Army Worm related question. And Kira had one more that she liked. I can't find it.
Yeah, 395 to the water from the T block.
Not long enough. These guys are going to hit 420s, man. That's the problem. I've talked about it. I talked about it today.
420 metres.
Hang on. Well, it probably has to be 500 metres. And Raina on Facebook. I need you to send us your details, Raina. We're going to send you some stuff.
Ervo's never happy, is he? So that's 420 metres, right? That's 460 yards. That's a big hit.
All right. So let's go World Long Drive.
Kyle Berkshire.
Long Drive. Australian champion.
You know who we can ask?
Ned Waddington.
Is that the guy from Grange?
Yep. That's why it came up. I was thinking about him today when I was at Grange. Oh, what? The World Long Drive Championship has a $400,000 prize purse.
Yeah, it's massive now.
Yeah. We don't think we'll be making... We could probably get to that point. Here, so 470 metres. I think we need to have a 500-metre area to at least... 470 is the world record from 1974. They must have been using rocks with a steel-shafted Persimmon wood driver. 471 metres by 64-year-old Mike Austin in 1974.
That's taking the PI55. That ain't real, surely.
It's on the internet.
Oh, even better, it's on Wikipedia.
It is on Wikipedia. Please donate some money. Oh, I fucking pulled myself out again.
Oh, no.
It's got tape on it and everything.
Okay. Well, that's
it's not million-mile-an-hour tape. It's tard tape. Can't say that. Okay.
So there's not a big long hole at the Grange or the...
You'd have to cut trees down to open shit up. It's just, it doesn't exist. Golf courses aren't designed that way, right? Ziggy-zaggy.
Yeah.
So we need to find an oval or a sporting precinct, like even like Mount Barker sporting precinct. But then if you go private, because I was even thinking private school, like if you go find like Scotch College on Dequetteville or whatever it is, from one end to the other to the ovals, is that long enough? But then
No,
they're not going to
no.
want rowdy, lawn hubbers out
Yeah.
there smashing cans.
Nah, that wouldn't be long enough.
Fucking Benithan Park.
I got scared then.
Benithan Park, how long? Because it's in the city then. And then you get your liquor license. This is the place.
Has anyone in the Hectagon group got their what is it? Alcohol service of alcohol license?
No, we'll hire people.
Oh,
We
okay.
need security guards and everything. All right. Benithan Park. You know where they have all the, they get all the animals and they mistreat them and have the circuses and shit?
Yeah.
I wonder if North Adelaide's got anything long enough. That's 100 metres. 1, 2. I think Benithan Park would be long enough. You'd have to put nets up though. Anyway, let's whiteboard this one a bit more. I might just spend some time on Google Maps and try and find some
Long
very
grassed
big grass
areas.
areas. Or you do it and hit it into the ocean.
Yeah, I'm not sure that. What is it?
There'd have to be floating golf balls
Yeah.
and shit, and you'd have to collect them all. But there's no chance sea shepherds coming to if there's whales getting harpooned, they're not coming to
Yeah, like down at Semaphore.
They're just like, and then there's dudes abseiling down and tackling golfers. I can't see that happening.
That would be
Good promotion.
that would be great promotion.
Local golfing legend gets tackled by a sea shepherd captain.
What about the driving range at West Beach? That's pretty big, isn't it?
Don't know. But we need to find somewhere. Someone will come up with something. There's some very smart people, smarter people than us out there. Adelaide City Council's got some big grass. It's just the netting. You can't be smacking golf balls down Port Road.
No.
Not Port Road. What's that road called? Is it Port Road? No. What's that road that's parallel to the Coke factory? I have Google Maps open. How about I just zoom in on
there.
it?
Yeah, there's heaps of room there.
That's what I'm saying.
I was thinking on the other side.
No, Benithan.
Oh, Park 25.
Is that the golf?
That's across the road. That's down the road from
You're talking the cricket.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that long enough?
that. Well, there's 3 ovals there.
You'd have to hit from Karen Rolton down onto Gladys Effick Park.
Or you,
Yeah, where the Comets ground is, Adelaide High. See, you can't have alcohol. You'd have to go where the polo is on the back. Park 24 hitting into Park 25.
Over the road.
Glover Avenue. I've got a feeling they're going to say no. Port Road, it is Port Road. All right, cool. We're going to go because you guys probably have lives to live, and I know that Dylan has gains that need to be made. He's already taken his pre-workout, so we're going to wind this one up. Please do not forget to message us if you've won prizes. Please, very, very importantly, have a look at Lawnhub's weekly cut.
yes.
There's going to be a lot of giveaways. It's going to be ridiculous because I'm in a good mood, alcohol-free. Finally...
Rate us on Apple and Spotify.
There'll be a competition for that. Soil tests, if you're interested, they will be on special for how long?
I'll run it for the rest of the month, I reckon.
Sounds like he's put a lot of thought into it. All right, keep it green. See you next week.
Cheers.